Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build some model kits and hang out with you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Site, the Emote into chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. Harold is hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. And of course, he's throwing some emotes in. I'm going to tilt this down a little bit. I'm getting a little light bleed in from my overhead light. The new hotness. Dirty's here. Aristovan is here. We already got a great crew together. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Dirty already wants me to hit that gong, and I will hit that gong using channel points. I will hit the gong to start off the stream. Dirty also wants me to hit that. Dirty wants me to hit that gong 3 times. Hi, Lashbrook. I'm gonna hit the gong 3 times because Dirty's using all those channel points. Here we go. That's 1. Lord Crashington also wants me to hit the gong. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Thank you for using your channel points so I can hit this gong. Appreciate that. I hope everyone's doing all right here. This is the intro portion of the stream. We're waiting to see if a few more folks want to join us. We almost finished. Could I have hung out a little longer on Thursday? Hey, Lord Crashington. I could have hung out. We could have pushed Thursday a little farther just to have finished this kit because we finished the base kit. We're totally done. It's got the funnels. Everything's looking good on our Nu-Zeon Gundam. We built almost all of the sword, which is also a crossbow, which is also can separate to reveal a beam blade. We almost finished that. I forget the camera was right there now. We're almost done. We could have stayed up. We didn't. We just didn't. So we're going to finish that because I only have like a couple more pieces to put on here, and we'll do that. And then we've got the Haro Ball. We've got the Ball is a classic mobile suit thing. It is a construction vehicle changed into, they literally strapped a weapon to the top of it. Haro, fun little friend since the classic Gundam days. We're going to make the Haro Ball. This thing says it does not require tools to assemble. There are no stickers for this kit. And you do not need to use tools. This predates by 2 years the entry grade kits, but this was, I guess, an attempt to start doing that. So yeah, this requires no assembly of no tools for assembly. So we won't use any tools. And then we've got actually legitimately the first entry grade that's ever come out. We've built 3 entry grades. This will be our 4th entry grade build. We're going to work on the entry grade for the 01 Kamen Rider 01, really nice, cool looking kit. This kit, says you don't need any tools to assemble it, but there are stickers, so we will use the X-Acto knife to take the stickers off and put the stickers on. So it is already at least 2nd tier as far as entry grades go, because the RX-782, which required 0 stickers, is top tier, and depending on my time of day, either the Dragon Ball Goku or the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku or Deku from My Hero Academia. That's definitely a tier below. It might even be 2 tiers below. There weren't many stickers with Goku, but there were still stickers, and that is a shame. I wish the entry grades didn't have any stickers, because this is supposed to be your starting point for getting into model kit building. And the fact that there are stickers involved, and which should be the entry point, like this many stickers right here, that's too many stickers. Oh, also, I forgot to turn on closed captioning, the closed captioning app. I have to manually do it every time. I apologize that I did not from the start. I will get back in the habit of doing that. For a while there, it was not working with my setup. It is working with my setup again, so I apologize. That should go into effect any moment now. It often takes a little bit of time before it goes in. You might have to refresh to get it to work, but sometimes, yeah, you have to refresh the page, but it should work. I'm going to refresh there, and we'll see. And if it doesn't, I apologize. It is the closed captioner app that I have chosen to use, and hopefully it will work. And if it doesn't, I apologize. I have no real control over that. I hope you're all doing well. I'm looking forward to tonight, a fun little evening. Finally, after doing the dishes and then washing my hands again, my hands no longer smell like gasoline because I was Doing something I would not advise, but okay, so here's the deal. My folks are going to go out of town in February. We've got a gas canister, plastic gas canister for the lawnmower. We want to use up that gas. Dad has a second car. We have a second car here. We want to take the gas from the canister, put it in that car so that it gets used. And the there's no good way to do that between where the car is and how high it is and where the gas tank is and where so the solution was to pour out of the gas canister into a big cup and then fold the end of the cup and pour into the gas. And my hands smelled like gasoline because of course they did. We spilled almost zero gas. Wristbands like ... So it is fine to use. Yeah, Julie says, "Oh no." So everything worked out okay. It was certainly not the best way to do it. It's just that like our gas container is good. It's like there's a whole thing you got to press. You got to do whole stuff there. Do lawnmowers and cars use the same type of gas? Lastbrook, they totally do. We have a brand new lawnmower that was purchased while I've been here, and it uses the same gas you would put in a car. We're not putting much gas in that car. It's mostly to just kind of top things off, and then it will get new gas in it anyway. Because this is the secondary car that they're not taking on vacation, so it's just going to sit in the garage. So it's kind of okay to use that gas because they're just kind of running it low anyway. I'll probably turn the motor over like once or twice in the month they will be out of the house. But we're okay. Things are all right. I found out today my parents, if this is dirty, were able to buy the new place significantly lower than when it was first built. Apparently there's a rocket engine. There's a rocket engine testing facility that was built nearby, and the house rattles every hour or so from 9 to 9 on weekdays. It was while you were there, it was weird the few times it happened while I was there. So Dirty is letting us know that his parents got the reason why they got a house at such a good price is because of a rocket engine testing facility, and the house shakes. So the one question I have, Dirty, and we're going to get to Model Kit building, don't you worry, but I gotta know. Hey, Dirty, did your parents know about this before they bought the house or rented the house or whatever? Or buy, yes. Were they aware of this and went, yeah, that's not a deal breaker? Every hour or so from 9 to 9. Like, it's just super weird. I thought it was fun to share. Dirty, it's very weird and very fun, and I'm glad you shared it. I don't quite know what to make of it. It's very fun. I'm going to adjust my... There. Yeah, it's very fun. Or did the realtor only show the house on weekends? I mean, I feel like you know what you're in for. Like, yeah, there are places that Julie mentions, like, is it shakier than a big airplane? Is it something the realtor mentions while talking about the minor issues of the house? Yeah, as Lord Gratian said. So I know that, like, there are parts of, in New York, there's above ground subway. Not all of it's underground. Some of it's above ground. And there's, street underneath, because originally that track was, that was the solution to, oh God, everyone's getting hit by trains, was to make them higher. But then people that live around it know that, hey, there's noise. There was a movie theater in New York that an underground subway would, like, the whole thing would rattle and shake because the movie theater, one of the screens was underground. And you just knew that, and you just accepted it because it was a art house theater and whatever. You paid art house prices. I'm sure you eventually tuned it out, the living near train tracks. Like living near train tracks. Yeah. They knew it was the area, but didn't realize it would rattle so much. Yeah. And I'm really gonna say Aristofan might be on the money there. That they might be showing that place on the weekends, or just hoping that it doesn't happen during the day, a weekday. They're fine with it. They just told me not to put anything on the walls on the side of the house facing the facility. Yeah, you just learn, right? That's where you use adhesive to put things on the wall. You don't hang them. You just that's just the wall that faces the facility. Oof. That'd be a fun place to stream from without mentioning when it happens. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, we're gonna keep chatting as we build. I'm not saying that chatting is done. I am. All right, yeah. So I apologize. I'm having issues with this captions thing, so I do apologize for that. I will do some tests on another day and try to get that working. But I'm gonna retweet my own tweet, try to see if a few more folks want to come join us. If they don't, that's fine. And we're gonna finish the Nu-Zeon. As you can see, I do have my handy guide if you've missed these streams. I'm imagining the scene in Mary Poppins where they blow the cannon every hour. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are things like that. Like I said, subway, train, living near train tracks. You should be able to notice if you're living near train tracks anyway. So we got here. We got our cape kind of shield thing. We got our Nu-Zeon Gundam. We'll put it over here. We got our big ass sword that looks like a shield. Well, it doesn't fully look like a shield yet because we still need to put a couple more pieces on, and those pieces are also going to require stickers because, of course, they are. But yeah, that's a whole lot. It's a whole that But yeah, hey, you know what? If you're going to get a deal on it, get that deal. Like the apartment the Blues Brothers had right next to the train tracks. Indeed, Lord President. Harold says, yeah, I tried using that closed caption extension on my stream, and I can't get it to work. Harold, like, it worked for me. I've been using it like 3 times before, so I wasn't expecting it to not work tonight. And that is frustrating, but I will investigate. So I apologize for folks, because my setup, it's not hard to use it because I'm only piping audio from my mic out. So it because that's the thing, it just gets that one signal. So for some people it doesn't work great, but for me, it usually works fine. It's just not now, which is annoying. All right, yeah. So we're putting some stickers on here. Could this be this maroon colored plastic? Of course it could. Is it going to be that plastic? No. That's okay. It happens. It's a high grade. I feel less. I get less upset about these stickers in high grades than I would in like a master grade, because, like, I understand. It's hard to layer these things, and sometimes you're just like, well, what about a sticker? We could just use a sticker. Let's see. So other than the gasoline thing, is anything else going on with me? I biked today. That was good. I got caught up on all of the Giant Bomb Game of the Year stuff. It went pretty much exactly as I thought it would. The top 2, I could see a world in which those had been switched, but also expected those to be the top 2. Didn't necessarily expect the 3rd and 4th place to be 3rd and 4th place, because I did think that, with no spoilers, because it's only been a day since those went out. At the time of doing this live stream. So, I want to respect people's who haven't gotten to it yet, because there's a lot of coverage if you're watching the Giant Bomb Game of the Year stuff. It's certainly easier. Hey, what's up, Ash? Happy to have you here. It's certainly easier to consume the Game of the Year now than it was in December when other people were doing Game of the Year. Like, I'm able to focus on, like, trying to consume all that and also other things. So, like, I know why they did it, but it was really fun. I was surprised their number 10 was so low. Yeah, I mean, like, some of the stuff that got on there, like, passion goes both ways, and I fully appreciate that and fully understand the passion stuff, right? So, passion for a game gets you very far. Passion against a game also gets you very far. And so, like, if easygoing, I'm generally a good guy. I get frustrated like everybody else, but I'm also the probably most likely to be the guy that gives the benefit of the doubt. Vinny Caravella hates a game, or his experience with the game, not necessarily the game, but his experience. that carries weight even as much as like this is Jan Ochoa's ass game of the year. Like this is like, and the passion of that. Like those things also weigh. All right, we got a little bit of panel lining we'll do before we attach these. I still got a day and a half left in the podcast, Ash. Yes, so that's why I'm trying not to say anything about what got where and all that. Um, because like I had time during the day to kind of watch along as I was doing other things. But not everybody has that opportunity. Yeah, so not much panel lining needed here. We'll just get a little color on that. A little color on here, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then we will apply these. And we will be pretty much done with our sword. I thought Jeff's argument was incredibly in bad faith. I mean, I don't know. Like, people like what they like, and people have their reactions they have to things, and I'm not here to say like, the people. That is a thing that happens every year, right? Like, people have their opinions on things, and there are some folks that are very good at arguing, and there are some folks that are very much not good at arguing. And a thing that got said on the premium podcast, the Hotspot podcast, I think is great. When they were looking back, there's a certain part where where the Giant Bomb Game of the Years went from a list of 4 guys to a list of 7 to 9 people. And it did go from these dudes list to the website's list. And basically that becomes the year where a game Jeff Gersman didn't enjoy becomes the website's number 1 game. And at a certain point you have to and people don't accept that shit. And they're like, how can a game that isn't on your top 10 be the number 1 game? Because it's on someone else's top 10. And that's a hard thing for fans, for people that watch along, people that feel like they know people, to kind of deal with. But that's the reality of it, is like, there's a lot of people on that website, and a lot of people that have different opinions on things and feel differently about things. It's not 4 dudes anymore. Yes, yes, I would agree with that. Jeff has very strong opinions, and he can be swayed on games he is meh about, but not games he actively set out. Yeah, you can't make Jeff think that a game that he hates is good, but you can make Jeff think a game that he's like about. He can understand why you love it, and he can also understand why he loves games he hates. But it is hard because everybody's got their own thing. Yeah. Also, read their lists. There's a lot of lists. You can just read people's lists and see what's up. Yeah. And yeah, it's also like, and nobody's perfect. Nobody agrees with you. You think that, you're thinking you have a handle on what somebody likes and what somebody is into, and then they surprise you because they didn't like the thing you liked. Like, did I think that Alex was going to like Yakuza? Of course I did. Alex is predisposed to like Yakuzas. Uh, do I think that the JRP assness of this one, the Dragon Quest of this one, would have appealed to some other people? It didn't quite. Yeah, I totally think that it would have. If there was going to be a Yakuza that a lot of the crew was going to get into, it was going to be this one. I also think that you could not, that crew, I did believe that 13 Sentinels would end up on that list if somebody played it, because that game is, the story of that game is better than the playing of that game. And so I did myself think 13 Sentinels could end up on that list because someone could tell, because that's a great game to hear about. And I've heard about it on several podcasts. I don't think I'm ever going to play 13 Sentinels, and I like bullshit visual novel games. But I'm sure there are plenty of people who are like, that sounds awesome, and will never touch it. And good for them. I hope they had fun with it. Yeah. yeah, I don't. I think that like everybody's different, and part of it is okay. So we finished the sword as is. I'm going to show you the transformation of the sword because it's fantastic. But we'll just do the sword as is. So we finished our a big bad sword here. So we'll get a photo of that. Oh wait, yeah. There we go. I'm just going to take one more big photo of that. Great, we got a big photo of that. I'm going to show you the transformation of this sword. I'm playing 13 Sentinels now. It's great. The fact that it showed up on so many lists in the last month got me to try it. Yeah, I mean, that's the awesome thing, right? Go through those guest lists, right? Listen to the arguments people make about things you've never heard of. Like, it's really interesting that, like, a game like uh, Urangi Generations didn't hit on one website, but was loved on another, right? And that's just from the people that played it and the people that got into it. That's just how it works, right? So like and also if you told me that that game was going to do really well on Vice and not well on Giant Bomb, I'd go, yeah, all right, yeah. I get that. I get why one site would be really into this game and one site would definitely not be into it. It makes total sense to me. Uh, yeah, I think it's like yeah, I could see that game doing very well, and I could also see it not doing very well at all. Okay, so this is the beam weapon version of this, which I love so much. I'm going to put it on its own little stand. That's how much I love this beam weapon, because it's nonsense. It's just nonsense. And then we will just kind of put it on there. But we're basically done with this. I got 13 Sentinels on PNS Holiday Sale and could tell PSN Holiday Sale. And could tell it was a George Kanamani game right away. From the teen girl has to be naked to get in the mech. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's still, it's still it's still got shit. Still got shit going on that you're like, okay, like it's a great, cool, weird game that still has shit happening in it that you're like, yikes about. Because it's still a video game. So this isn't going to stay on the stand like that. That's annoying. Well, that goes in like, that goes for that mode. So we can do it like that. Yeah, so we'll do that. How does this attach? Okay, attach it like that. Great. All right, so this is the like beam mode, basically, which is just nonsense. Oh, that doesn't even stand up like that. Damn. In this beam mode, I can't even get this to stand up. This is the stand. Wow, that does not work. Holy shit. This mech looks rad as hell. It totally is. It's totally rad. The Nu-Zeon Gundam is complete and utter nonsense. It is one of the reasons why I love the wonderful world of Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise works so well because of shit like this. Okay, I don't even think this stand is gonna hold this in any form, but I'll transform it into the crossbow or compound bow version. But yeah, this weird semblance of like it's a Principality of Zeon mobile suit and it's also a Gundam. It's somehow like so weird. But yes, this is the crossbow compound bow mode. Is that gonna stand up in this form? Can I use the shield or the stand like this? Yes, this will stand up like this. Okay, great. Lord Creston wants me to the gong. The wings remind me of oh yeah, the Zone Enders. So they're model finished gong. Yes, I will hit that gong in a second. So these are funnels. These are the old school funnel kind of design things. So they can fly around and do whatever. But they're shaped like a cape, basically, because this is Captain Zeon from Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, and so he is going with a whole, kind of like superhero thing. All right, I'm going to hit this gong. See the gong. Considering how little screen time we got, I do not remember any of these shield modes at all. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's also like, this is stuff that's going to be in like the chill extra manga. All right, I'm going to put this, we're going to take another photo. This is in the crossbow, like compound bow mode. So I'm going to get another photo in here. And take a photo. And then I wish I had more energy to watch and absorb all the shows I want to check out. Yeah, like I totally understand that. I totally get that. Okay, so we're going to move on. This is that kit. I enjoyed building this. It's very weird. It's very strange. This is a keeper of a high grade. I had a lot of fun putting this together. But yeah, this is definitely a keeper. But I totally understand what you're saying, Ash. There's just a lot out there. I mean, I make a point to watch a lot of shows because it is a thing for me to talk about on these streams. Uh, and also, I tend to watch things I like, and I skip the things I don't like. But yeah, there's a lot of content out there. Boy, I wish there was some mech shit I could watch that I liked because Back Arrow is bad, and I don't want to watch it anymore. I got through most of the second episode, and the mobile suits are pretty cool, but not cool enough to put up with the fact that I don't think that show is good. All right, so we're going to move on to the ball. Basically, since the first season, first Gundam show, there have been ball. The ball has been in a lot of things, but I'm talking about Haro. That ball. Haro, this is HAROPLA Ball Haro. We've already built one ball before. We're going to build the second one here. This is not new to the world of Gundam. Haro shows up in a bunch of different shows. In this version, it is the classic ball, which is a construction piece of equipment that they put a gun on top. Because they were just like, we need mobile suits. Do with what you can. A cool thing about this, no stickers in this kit, no tools required. So we can just remove all these pieces here and put them together. We will do very light panel lining on here. We have to decide what we're going to use. I think on this pale blue, we're going to use black, but I don't know yet. And on the red, well, the red we'll definitely use black. Or we'll use brown. We'll use brown on the red. So on the blue here, we're just going to hit this with some black. Kind of look at it there. We'll do the eraser method. Kind of take a look at that. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, that looks good. But we will also try the other colors because that is a good way to see what this is. We're going to hit some other colors here. This is the gray. We'll just hit some of this with gray and kind of take a look at that. And then we'll also do brown. I definitely don't think it's going to be brown. I feel brown is going to be the red highlight color, which will be very hard to see because the red is basically inside the Haro, but whatever. Still good to do. Yeah, definitely not the brown. Do I kind of like the gray? I kind of like the gray and I kind of like the black. We're going to go with black. I think the black is going to be better. We'll just, yeah. Let's do that right now. On the piece. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go with the black on blue. So what we'll do is we're going to do this here. Copy. Paste. Oops. Paste. Reference. Great. Okay, and then we're just going to go in and edit it here. I'm going to try to do this like all the time now, I think. Because I think this is really helpful. So to have this like on screen, and that way you can kind of play along at home. So for red, we're going to use brown. And for blue, we're going to use black. Yeah. And then we can just put that right there. And that's just a handy guide. Honestly, it's really handy for me. I mean, we're not going to do much panel lining on this. And for green, we would probably use black as well, but the green's going to be all internal, and we won't see it except maybe the eyes will peek through, which I like. They're showing you like the internal workings of the kit, and I think that's fun. But we won't need our snippers. We will not need any snippers for this because this is apparently no tools required build. So let's get into it. If we do need tools, we'll use them, but these snipped off here. So we'll just go and pop that off. Pop these off there. Okay. And find how this looks. It looks like this on the back. This was released in the year 2018, I believe. And yeah, this is a cute little kit. I'm excited to work on it. And we need... Where are the pieces we need? Oh, there are these pieces here. 11 goes here. 11. Okay. Our connectors. There is, it's very cute. Yeah, I think it's very cute. I love all the Haros. There's one Haro I really want to build, the HAROPLA I really, really want to build. There is one that is inside its own, like, nonsense mobile suit. Like, it's like an exoskeleton for it. And I really like that. I think that is such a charming design. I definitely want to put that together at some point. All right, so we'll put these here. But yeah, the Haro stuff is very fun. I'm definitely interested in building more of them because they're just like cute and fun and inexpensive. Thank you to the anonymous person that bought this. No one has stepped up and said, I bought this off your wish list, but thank you for it. If you end up watching this either live or on YouTube later or on the VODs, thank you. Instead of putting these in here, let's do the panel lining on the as we pull the pieces off, we'll do panel lining. Again, you can remove that. So we'll start with 6. 6 are on the top. So we'll do both 6s here. And we're going to be using brown marker. Oh, the one that looks like it dropped out of near. Yes, Lashbrook, yeah. There is one that I really like that, yeah. There's a few of them, I think, that are just really well done. The Haro. There's a Haro loader that is another one that is like a construction one that I like, but the Haro fighter is great. Also, the hands on that one can hold basically any high-grade weapon, and that is unnecessary and wonderful. So again, we're just going real easy with this. It's quick and dirty method, because we will clean it up with the eraser. And then go borrow the eraser pits there. Blow it off if we got to for the little eraser parts there. And yeah, that's looking good. So that's one of the 6 ones we do. And it goes like this. Yeah, nice and easy. Taking our time with it, not worrying about it. Let's see. Do yesterday and today. Did I do anything I want to tell you about? Not really. I'm getting used to my new glasses. I'm happy with those. You know, it's still got to adjust it. It's not full. There's not fully adjusted for my face, but I'm figuring it out. You know, incrementally kind of get it right. They slip a little bit, but other than that, it's been cool. Happy to have them. Didn't realize how long I went with scratch lenses, because I was going a very long time with scratch lenses, so I'm glad those are done. Let's see. Okay, the big thing is Hitman 3. Should I have waited on Hitman 3? Probably. Am I going to lose some progress on Hitman 3 eventually? Yes. Did I still want to get Hitman 3? Because let's be real, I didn't have a lot. I had progress, but not the most amount of progress. Yeah, I got it because I wanted to play a video game, and it's a fucking great video game. No spoilers because it's barely out, and it's not episodic, so, you know, you gotta play. People have been playing through and talking about all parts of the game instead of just, you know, like the first level or whatever. So I'm not here for that, but yeah, it's a good time. I'm having fun with it. So here's the thing about Hitman 3 that I will say. If you loved the plot of Hitman 1 and 2 and couldn't get enough of it, congratulations. There's a lot of fucking plot in that. There are plenty of missions that are just so plot focused and so kind of weird for the series. If you don't remember anything. And if you're like, oh, we had to kill that old man and I had to like get evidence in like that like town. I don't remember any of that part. If you're like that, then this game might be annoying. And I would say you should do the escalations. Do the escalations because, and then when they have the different challenges, when those come in, I think you'll really like that because there are several levels that are a very fun playground, that are very Hitman 3 playgroundy, or Hitman at playgroundy, I should say. Um, but if you are annoyed by the story stuff, you're going to be more annoyed this time because it's a lot of story shit. It's a whole lot of story shit, and that could. There's just stuff that I'm like, I don't want to do that again. That's going to be annoying when when I want to do this on like a harder difficulty or after a patch, a balance patch of something, and I gotta figure out a new way to do this. I think it may be time to go see an eye doctor again myself, says Dirty. It's been a good decade. Yeah, you definitely, 10 years since lasered. Yeah, maybe. Um, so I didn't get a new prescription. I should have, but I didn't. I just got new frames because my lenses were all messed up. And the plan is to, when I can, safely, go get, and maybe when I have like, good income, go and get new lenses and then put them in my old frames because I really love those frames. Nothing wrong with the frames. It was just the lenses were bad. So, and then these will, the ones I'm wearing now, sorry, will become like my backups. It's kind of what I'm looking at. All right, so the bigger ones are on the top, small ones on the bottom, eyes are on the top. The eyes are right here. I love the center frame has the eyes. It's got little eyes. They're going to peek out. Instead of stickers. So much better that it's not stickers. All right, so we'll do 13 here. I didn't plan on it, but I ended up doing a quick run through of the campaigns 1 and 2 before 3 dropped. Yeah, I mean, like, at the very least, doing the last, like, couple big missions in 2 would probably be helpful, even though I hate that compound. I hate some of or 1, the end of 1. But, like, it might be good to go in to figure stuff out. I don't know. I'm never gonna stream Hitman because I don't like. I like playing that game very, very much. I don't like the version of. No, it's not that I don't like the version of me that plays that game. The version of me that plays Hitman is not the version of me that I present to all of you. And while I can totally respect and love that part of me, I'm not. That's not for y'all. That's just for me. I tweeted about it and definitely believe it to be true. That wow, sometimes you have these intricate plans, and sometimes you just push a guy off a ledge and then run. And that is no bullshit. That is exactly my play style. I do it. I try to be sneaky. I try to be silent assassin. And then sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to push this guy because I can outrun and hide from the 3 guys that are going to see me do this. And that's going to be way better than trying to get all these guys to go away and have no one find their unconscious bodies. And then I threw a hammer at somebody and they fell to their death. And I'm like, oops, I wanted that uniform. Reload. I'll reload for that. I like the story stuff they've done in the first 2 games. This has more of that. I've only played the Dubai map, and it's a very neat map. Yeah, the Dubai map is fun. It's a fun layered map. It's an interesting way to go in and out. I'm on board for that. So yeah, so we didn't do much panel lining on here, but the panel lining we did makes a huge difference. Hitting this line because this Haro doesn't open up like the Haro that we did, the Haro fitter that we did. That one opens up and you can see the keyboard inside. Kind of. This doesn't open up. So us hitting this panel line with black really defines this and really, I think, makes it shine. I think it's very important to do as somebody who is still very new to panel lining, but I can already see a remarkable difference. And so we'll do a little bit of black on that, which will be used, which you won't really see too much, but maybe you'll see it on an angle, so still hit it. Yeah, I think it's great. It looks great. Okay. But yeah, Hitman. I'm liking it. I'm not loving Hitman, but I'm liking Hitman 3. Uh, yeah, the escalations are the things that I think, like, oh, I'm probably going to watch a lot more of the escalations. Uh, ooh, were we not supposed to? I think I put the face on too early. I might have put the face on too early. I did. I put the face on way too early, folks, but we already panel lined it, and it's fine. Now we'll do these pieces. 9. Oh, okay, yeah, and so we use black on this one here. Just do that. Let's see. Anything else I want to tell you about? Not really. Like I said, I watched a lot of the Giant Bomb stuff, and that was good. Uh, Royal Rumble's coming up, and as somebody who is still a wrestling fan, even if I don't consume a lot of wrestling on a week-to-week basis, I'm still excited for the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble's still one of those shows that just fucking kicks ass, and I like a lot. So, I'm still gonna watch it. Oh, I gotta make sure this is on right. So it is like this. So yeah, I'm still gonna watch the Royal Rumble because I think the Royal Rumble rules. I'll be in a Discord with some friends, probably watching together. Something, maybe FaceTime, maybe Discord. Uh, but we'll be watching together because that is a fun way to still enjoy wrestling. Uh, my money is on. Uh, I don't know who my money is on for the Royal Rumble, the winner. Like a while ago, I would have said Big E, but Big E having a title makes me think it won't be Big E unless they hot shot the title, the Intercontinental title, to Apollo Crews because they're playing that storyline as a way to further the storyline of Big E, then wanting his revenge by definitely taking the title um, at WrestleMania, the main belt. So maybe that's where they're going. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of don't know. I kind of don't know where they're going to go with it. Um, Maybe it'll be Shinsuke. But I feel like it'll be somebody from SmackDown because I don't want to see Kevin Owens fight the big dog anymore. I think this has to be it. So we got to get somebody new in there. And that's who I think it'll be. There's a great physical comedy bit where you're in a security room with a maintenance. I was talking about Hitman 3 with a maintenance guy mopping the floor with one of the caution signs, the wet spot. I picked it up and took it to a nearby room and heard a thud where one of the guards slipped and knocked themselves out in the wet spot. Yeah, you can just stand there and watch it happen. It's great. You just remove that sign and then somebody will come in and slip and fall. And they were like, well, that's probably somebody's probably been planning that for a very long time and finally got to put it in the game because that's a good bit of comedy. But yeah, as far as wrestling goes, I could see it being Shinsuke. I can't see it be Keith Lee because they gave away that match for free on Raw. Also, they also have the Miz on Raw with the Money in the Bank, and I feel like also having the Royal Rumble winner be that is just too much. Um, so I don't think it's going to be Raw Superstar. As for the women's, Bailey, because she's never won the women's Rumble. It's like the one thing she hasn't done. So I could see it being Bailey, which sets her up against Sasha for good reason. Rhea Ripley, uh, Bianca Belair, maybe. They're pretty hot on Bianca. Uh, I don't know. Uh, the game is still one of the funniest games around, says Lord Crouch. To talk about Hitman. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. All right, we already have gotten a lot of our Haro done, so we'll move on. Now we got to turn this Haro into a ball because we've really made it a Haro. This is just a Haro at this point. It's a non-mouth opening Haro. We got to really change it up to make it more like a ball. So we're going to put the ears down, and then we're going to build the gun and the arms. And one thing, we're going to start with the arms because I want to show you something cool. Well, first off, this is hard to... There. Everybody be cool. Everybody chill the fuck out. All right, we're going to build the arms here. Yes, that's wrestle talk. I don't know. Uh, I don't really need to see Bailey and Sasha in 2021. I would love to keep that from happening again, but also I could see. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that goes. Uh, things can change. Yeah, that's my general feeling. Is I don't really need that. Um, oh, we got the gun here. All right, we got to get our arms together. Where's our arms? Here's our arms. Let's get our arms together. 6 and 4 and 4. Okay. These are all just one big kind of two big pieces. I don't necessarily love that, but also this is a very inexpensive kit, so I get it. I totally understand why this kit is the price it is, and what the shortcuts that get taken with it. Totally get that. Let's see. Is there any other wrestle talk that I wanted to say? I don't know. I like the Rumble. I think it's fun. It is always fun to kind of second guess yourself about who's going to win and where it's going to come from. Uh, Shinsuke winning would certainly be awesome. The push that Shinsuke is getting has been fantastic. I think Daniel Bryan is a big favorite. A WrestleMania match between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns would certainly be cool, but I don't know if we need that. Also, because what is the Royal Rumble of which you speak? Is it anything like the PAX Rumble? Says Harold. Yes, it's very similar. Yeah. Yeah, the old Royal Rumble. Only you can have more than. Here's the thing. Here's what the Royal Rumble does. That's pretty different from the PAX Rumble. You can have more than 4 people in the ring at one time. Weird, right? As long as you can have like 15 people in there if nobody gets eliminated. It's really different. They really changed it up from the old PAX Rumble. All right, so we got these little plastic connectors that go in here, which I think are, these are getting the job done here. We're going to put them in there to use our, to make our Haro move around a bit uh, and get the arms here, very reminiscent of the ball. They have some movement, not too much, but we're going to pop these off so that we can do some panel lining on them. We're going to use black, and we're just going to hit it some places and then hit it with the eraser. And again, we are okay with being a little messy with it because we do have the ability to make that go away. But we can just kind of in there. Yeah. I also always am afraid of Daniel Bryan very much hurting himself. So while I could see him doing one last main event run, one big win at WrestleMania would feel good. I mean, internationally, you would have to imagine that Shinsuke would be a good choice as one of your main events. But Daniel Bryan in the main event certainly is a fan favorite. I could see that working, going into that. But I don't know. Alright, so we're just going to do some lines here. There. I'm just starting. Look, I always do this because this is who I am, so don't freak out if you're not doing it, and it's okay if you're not. It's weird that I'm doing it. I started doing some tax stuff because some tax things that come in the mail, and then there's some stuff that I get through the internet that I was able to get. I'm still waiting on like a thing, but I've gotten a lot of my tax stuff in because I like to do it early so that I can get paid early if I have anything coming back. This past year didn't make a whole lot of money on paper. Of course, certainly also didn't make a whole lot of money off paper, but on paper, it's weird. Yeah, just definitely like, oh, I might owe the government like a little bit of money because of a thing that didn't get taxed. But yeah, it's very strange to see how little I made in certain areas. Uh, I still have to do all my declarations and stuff like that from my small business of being a live streamer. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. Could a battle royale work in the WWE where they say have 30 wrestlers spread out through the arena and they run around and have fight others to see if they void until there's one man left. Lord Crasher, they could do something like that. A little bit of that happened at the Money in the Bank. It was at the WWE headquarters, and on the roof there was the Money in the Bank. Instead of in a ring, they did it. So it was kind of a wacky race where you had to race your way to the top, and nobody got eliminated except that they physically couldn't keep moving. So some people did get eliminated that way. No one got eliminated from it in a battle royal sense, but it did have this kind of rat race style thing happening, which was interesting. It was an interesting thing, and also instead of happening separately, the men's and women's were happening at the same time. So we had some interaction between the two because it was happening all at the same time, which was kind of neat. I don't think it necessarily worked perfectly, and there were some comedy moments in it that fell very flat for me. But overall, the concept I thought was pretty inventive and pretty fun. I'm dreading doing my taxes. I was laid off at the beginning of May, unemployment for 3 months, and then hired a new, much better job in August. It's a mess. Yeah, Julie, I can appreciate that. Also, paying state tax for New York and trying to get all that stuff together, it's fine. I was at the time I was very pleased to get a payout for an internet or for a thing I did that was on Hulu that I'd never gotten any further compensation for. And so I was happy at the time to get that, but then paying the taxes on that, I'm not thrilled about. Uh, but yeah, it is a weird little time here. I'm still waiting on the thing to come in and get that together, and then I can do everything. And I got to do all my deductions. Got to get all my ducks in a row and do all that, and see what I can declare and what I can't declare. Do all that fun work. You got the fun of moving states and everything like that. Yeah, Lord Crashing, one of the nice things is I only made so much money since July that is on the books. So I'm pretty much okay as far as South Carolina stuff goes because I didn't make a lot of money. The bonus of not making a lot of money while I was here means that is not super concerning to me right now, which is its own issues, but it's got its own problems with that, obviously. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that I have done since I got down here has been cash sent to my PayPal. I think tomorrow sounds like a good day to do my taxes. Always tomorrow. Yep. 100%. WWE Battle Royale is Roman Reigns defeats what he thinks is the last opponent for Triple H, comes out with a sniper rifle. Indeed, yeah. Yeah, there's always somebody you didn't know didn't get eliminated. Or pinned. Taxes are done and ready to go, except I need to wait for a form because of my HSA. Just want to have them submitted already. I'm in the same boat, right? The sooner you do, the sooner it's done and you can move on or find out what, it's something went weird and figure something out and get all together. But I have to do my deduction stuff. That is probably tomorrow. I know this is very fun for some people out there to have, taxes talk, but that is a thing. I won't talk about it days and days, but yeah, I'm waiting for one more thing and then I got to do all my deductibles, all of my subscriptions to things and utilities and the beginning of the year when I still lived in New York, because all of that is part of my small business and I can deduct it, or at least part of it, because I used it in my small business, which is this. All of this you see before you is my small business, because it's business time. All right, we're going to build a gun, and this is one of the coolest things about this kit. One of the absolute coolest things about this kit is, so it's got the big gun here. We did the arms, right? We can pop this arm off. You see this connector we used? We're going to use this in the gun, but not in the way you normally would. One of the most inventive things of this is the, right here, this is actually going in the gun and will be used as, in the barrel here. And what is normally used as a connector piece suddenly becomes part of the barrel of the gun. And I think that fucking rules. That definition. That is clever and cool, and I'm totally into it. I saw that and I was like, that's rad. That is just a great use of it. Now, do we want to do anything with this gray? Is there any color we could put on this gray? Like, do we want to put black on this gray? Do we want to put brown on this? I don't know if we want to do anything on this gun, but we might want to. Put some black over here, put some brown over here, and we'll just take a look at it. We'll see if anything speaks to us. Well, we might want to. I don't know. We might. We'll just kind of give it there. Do we want to? Like a little higher or something? Yeah, we'll put some black on this. Whatever. It won't show up too much, but it might add a little definition to it. So we'll put some black on it. We'll just put a little black here. Because it's light enough. This will give some definition. Not too much, but kind of give it a little bit of a weathered look in a way. Let it pop a little bit. Yeah, I don't hate that. I like that. Do this here. This line. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two as we get ready to finish up this kit, and I'll talk about some anime I watched the past 2 days, because that's what happens in the second hour of the stream. You know this by now. I'm going to talk about some anime that I watched, and if you will watch the same things, they can talk about that. I got a 3-episode review, because I got caught up on a show that I'd kind of watched the first episode of, and then kind of passed on the second. Last week I wasn't feeling like watching it, but I watched the second episode and then the third episode, and I'll talk about that show. And then my weeklies of 3 shows that I'm watching every day. It's a nice little mix of shows, I think, talking about a high school romantic comedy, talking about a action shonen that are in their fighting tournament style thing, and talking about a cute little an isekai, and then also a 1.5 minute long, lovely little show about animals. So we get a little bit of everything for y'all. Well, let's just finish the Haro, because we're almost done with Haro. So we'll just finish that there. And we'll just put the base on it. We can remove it, so I will show that. You can remove these parts here and just make it look like a Haro, but we'll do it as the ball. Oops. But yeah, talk about some anime, and then, we'll probably talk about a few other things towards the end of the stream. It's got, yeah, we don't use the hands on this, huh? No, we don't. One thing we don't have here, we do have attachments for arms, so we can do that. Most of this stuff that's here that we didn't use is part of the general mold for the Haro, so we can just switch it up if we don't want it to be the ball. Which is cool. It's cool that stuff is included. We don't have the legs, unfortunately, the extender legs, but we do have the extender arms, so that is good. Do like that. We do have the arms. So we can do that. We just have to put it on the stand. So we'll show both versions of this kit here. So we've got this, and you can put the other pieces underneath. I've shown that before. This is the Haro Ball. Movable gun. Adjustable. No tools required. We obviously did some markers, and I like the work that we did on the markers, but no tools required, so we're still we'll show you that version. Oh, no, we did have the legs. There are the legs. The legs are here. Great. This is not even in the instructions. This is just a thing I know you can do with this kit. They don't even include that, but we can make it the just pure Haro version. So we'll do that as well. Pop that over there. And I'll show that. But yeah. So because of a recent LGR video, I've been kind of tearing my apartment trying to see if I can find my old Palm Pilot. And it's kind of bothering that I can't find it, even though the payoff of doing it will be so very little. 100%. At some point, Lashbrook, it just becomes, hey, this is the thing I should be able to find, and I can't find it, and therefore I am mad right now, so I'm going to find it, even though it doesn't mean anything. And LGR is Lazy Game Reviews, although he doesn't really, he reviews some games, but really is more about technology, but that's where it started, so that's why it's called LGR. But yeah, cool stuff from that fine fellow. Lots of old tech, weird tech, synth stuff. Occasionally some new, interesting, weird tech, like he bought a pyramid PC case that's very new, which was very silly and fun. But yeah, good content over at Lazy Game Reviews. All right, so this is going to be the arms here. Yeah, so we're going to put the arms like this. I got to take a photo of it in ball form, and then I'll take a photo of it in Haro form. So let me get a photo of ball, move these aside, and then I'll show you the Haro version. And then we will take a pause for the cause. But I got to get this Haro ball. Haro ball. Yeah. 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 All right, now I'll show you the ball version. We'll take this off. We take these out. Take the gun off. Open up the ears because that's where the arms go. Pop the arms in. Realize that I put the arms on wrong. Or, no, I didn't. Oh. Oh, I don't actually. Yeah, let's see. It doesn't have the connect. Ooh, yeah, okay, so I'm increasing feeling like anything that isn't important enough that I want to know where it is, I should get rid of it. Yeah, totally. Yeah, purges are good to do on that in that case. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so actually, the connectors here to connect the pieces on the inside are not present. I wonder if I can do it with... Will these work for that? Ooh, maybe yes. Okay, so if I can do that, I can do that. Okay, that's what I have to do. All right, I have to take these and use these little connectors to do it, but I can get it done. Yes, got it. So I got to take the connectors that are already on the hands off and reuse those. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm doing it now. Yeah, I mean a lot of it, like me packing at the beginning of last year or the middle of last year when I moved, was me going, do I need this? Do I need this? Do I need this? And just realizing a lot of the answers were no, no, yes, no. So I'm sure things will pile up again. And then also, I bet some of the model kits I saved, because I didn't save everything, but I did save a lot of stuff. I bet some of the stuff I saved, I will look at and go, why did I save this? Why did I think this was important? Why did I think this was important? Like, I'll probably wonder. Or, oh, I thought I saved that kit. I guess I didn't. I didn't save everything. I saved some of the Lego, but most of the Lego. There's not a lot of it. All right, so here you go. This is the other version of Haro. I had to reuse the connectors that were on the big hands to do this, but I got it done. So there's just regular old Haro if you just want regular old Haro. And I will take a photo of non-ball Haro. It's cute. And take a photo of my Haro friend. Pop those ears up a little bit more. Yeah. And I will say, without panel lining, this is still a cute kit. Julie says cute. Julie's not wrong. With the panel, without the panel lining here, I think it's still fine, but I think it just really pops with it to define this line. If only this one line, I think it really improves the kit a lot. But yeah, there's Haro. Haro is cute. We'll get ready to start doing this. I don't think we're going to need any markers for this. Again, this is a no-tool build. I'll talk about what entry grades are when we get into it. But yeah, this instruction book is not as detailed as some of the other ones, but there's still plenty of, yeah. But it's all in color, which I like. It is really detailed. Again, there are stickers. So when I say no tools, I mean we will not use snippers, but we will use stickers for the belt. The center belt requires some stickers, and the legs have some stickers. It's not as many stickers, I think, as some of the other stuff here, but there's still a few. We might also panel line because it is armor, and that might look rad. I don't know if we all will or not. We won't panel line until the kit's done. I will say that. If I do panel line, it'll be after we complete the kit. But first, we're going to take, and that's also this one here. That's what it looks like, right? But we're going to take a pause for the cause. If you are new to the stream, you're like, Pat, I don't know what that is. I don't know what a pause for the cause is. Well, this is an opportunity for you to learn about ways you can support the channel if you'd like. For new folks, this will only take a few minutes. We'll get back to building really soon, but this is an important element of the stream where I just talk about various ways you can support the channel if you'd like. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site emote in the chat. Subscribing is a huge way to help support what I do. Cash money or using your Prime gaming token, you got those options. You can link your Amazon with your Twitch, you get that token. If you're not using it for me, please use it for somebody because that's money on the table. Gifting subs. You can join Bobby and Silver and Aristophan in gifting a community sub. That would be an awesome way to support what I do. And they're at the top of the leaderboard. There's been other fine folks that have gifted subs as well. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that if you wanted to, and that way you can support what I do that way. And they won't charge you until your gifted month is over. So if you still got 5 days left on that gift, don't worry about it. It's cool. We've had so many lovely gifts in December and this month. It's been awesome. I'm very much appreciate it. Bits and coins also always appreciated. And yeah, that is a great way to support what I do. So consider, if you aren't following me, give me a follow. I build model kits Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesday, I do something else. This coming Wednesday, check it out, I'm going to talk about anime. Weird, right? But it's a recording of my YouTube show, Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I'm going to be talking about everything I'm watching in the winter 2021 season, the stuff I talk about on stream, the stuff I haven't talked about on stream that I'm watching on my own time, the stuff that I am not interested in watching, the stuff that I watched one episode of and went, oh, this is not what I want to watch. If you like it, the hidden dungeon only I can enter, please enjoy. I'm not going to ever watch another episode of it because it's just, I don't mind horn, but I mind too much horn. And that show has too much horn for my liking. Lastbrook just subscribed saying, Otterman says, hey, Pat. Well, hello. We're doing our pause for the cause a little bit here. Lastbrook subscribed Prime. That's 39 months. You did not miss a stream. So you missed half the stream. I'll say that. I'm going to hit the applause. Thank you, Lashbrook, for 39 months. Kyle Unit's also here. Hi. So this is the, I started an hour ago. This is the in-between, where I'm just gonna, I'm just here to talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll get back into building. It was actually, the part for me was finding out that excitement refills this person's abilities, and I was like, okay, I know where this is going. No, thank you. That's just me. If that's your show, that's your show. But I'm going to be talking about that on Wednesday. Anyway, Ottoman says thanks for the Gundam Rex earlier today. I appreciate that. No problem. Thank you for the thank you. And you are welcome. Other ways to support what I do, because we're going to quickly go through some ways you can support the channel, and then we're going to move on to other stuff. Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBear is my Patreon. $1 tier, $3 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. Is Patreon actively trying to ruin its own website and service? Yes, they consistently do not care about the vast majority of users on their site, and it is a fucking problem and a constant worry. So sign up for my Patreon. I don't know what to tell you. If I believed that 90% of people on Patreon would support me on coffee, if I switched to coffee, I would do it. But I believe 50 to 60% would, and 50 to 40% would just be like, I'm good. I don't know. I don't want to figure out how that site works. It's easy enough that once a month they just take money out of my account. So, yeah, Patreon sucks, and I hate it. And the only way to fight to that site works is when enough people who are famous enough complain openly about it, and then they take back the dumb decisions they're making, which they're being pushed to because of various reasons of VC money and various other things that I'm not going to get into here. Anyway, Patreon, it's rough for me, but I still have it and I still depend on it, so that's fun. Also, direct donations, because everything I make through Patreon, through Twitch, through direct donations goes to me buying model kits. So if you're like, I can't do a monthly thing, Pat, but I'll send $5 to your Streamlabs. I'll send $15 to your PayPal account. Well, it'll go into an account that I use to buy stuff. So that's a thing you can do if you'd like. Again, none of this is stuff you have to do, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. The kit we just built, the Haro, that we just finished, our Haro friend right here, our little Haro friend, this was bought anonymously off my Amazon wish list, and I'll talk about that. And I'm putting it in the chat. Also, in the show description of my YouTube video, if you're watching this later on YouTube, hey YouTube, I have an Amazon wish list. This was bought anonymously, so if you buy something on the list, it comes to me, it jumps the queue. I don't worry about the master grades and the high grades I got waiting for me to build. I build the thing you bought. I've got Lego sets here. I've got Pokemon model kits here on the list. I've got another Haro, the Haro Loader, which is cool. It's orange, and that's a rare color for Gundam and Gunpla. I've got high grades. I've got master grades, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, things that are on sale, things that are very overpriced because it's a rough market for model kits. I've got tools at the bottom. I've got a couple things you could buy if you're like, I don't know what to get you, but I want to support, but I don't know model kits. I'll just buy this. Like this lovely light that was purchased off my wish list that we're using right here. That I'll be using for a very long time. So those are some ways to support what I do through my wish list. Again, folks that just joined us, we're getting back to the building in a moment. We're going to start working on our Kamen Rider kit. But first things first, I do my ad break. I do it once per stream. An alternative to Amazon is USA Gundam Store. You go to the USA Gundam Store, you could get a gift card. You go there, buy a gift card, send me a DM with the code, or whisper here on Twitch with the code, and then I'll buy something at USA Gundam Store. And I won't pre-order something because it just took so long when I did that the last time that I'm not going to do that again. And I again apologize to Harold for that long delay. A free thing you can do to support me is join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. I'm going to have a lot of photos to post for this one. So you can join my Discord to see what other people are working on, some conversations we have there. I post all the videos that I do there. It's another way to find it if you don't feel like checking out my Twitter. Speaking of videos, a couple videos for you to watch is Pat Bear's Anime Club, my top 10 of 2020. I made a video about my 10 favorite shows of the year 2020. You can watch that there. If you want to read it instead of watching it, well, you could head over to Giant Bomb because I did a guest top 10 list. It's the same list as the video. So there's a video version and there's a written version. So you can check that out. Appreciate that. And I have Baer With Me. Baer With Me is a video series where I react to things. It's a reaction video series. And this one, I'm reacting to episode 2 of, and oh boy, X-Arm. X-Arm, the show that I hate watching this season because it is hilariously terrible. And you can watch I didn't put the whole episode up, but I put moments from episode 2 up with my genuine, honest reaction the first time I watched the episode. And holy shit. I can't believe that show exists. Woof. All right. We are going to talk about other anime stuff that I do like instead of stuff that I'm like, oh no. Quickly check this here. Thank you for the retweet, Harold. Appreciate that. Getting some more likes on some stuff, which is fun. Yes. All right. So we're going to talk about some anime. And I'm going to get going on this Kamen Rider. Before I start talking about anime, a brief explanation of what an entry grade kit is. Because you might not know. You might not have seen me build it. There's always new people. There's always people that haven't been here in a while that are returning. You don't know what entry grade means. Entry grade is a new grade of model kits. You may be familiar with the terms high grade or HG. master grade MG, perfect grade. There's non-graded stuff. This is often be considered non-grade. The Haro we just built is considered a non-grade. Entry grade is the entry is twofold. Means two different things. One is the price point. This is not going to be $28. This is not going to be $25. It's going to be $10 to $15 kit. This is the entry grade. It's small, little, but inexpensive. The other part of entry is it's the entry into the world of model kit building. This should be easier. Kamen Rider kits exist in this. Model kits exist. They're figure rise kits. They're Bandai. They make Dragon Ball stuff and that and a few other properties. Those are more intricate. They're not hard, but they're more difficult than this entry grade. So if someone was like, I love Kamen Rider, I want to make Kamen Rider model kits, you go, well, you start with the 0-1. You start with the entry grade. If you were going to build Gundam, I would say, if you've never built a model kit before, you start with the entry grade RX-782. It's a joy to build. That has a lot more instructions. This is the first entry grade they ever put out. It doesn't have a lot of English in it, which they've gotten better at with the other kits. They're in 3 languages, easy to understand and follow along. But this is like, hey, here's the head, here's the body, here's the arms. You do this, you put it together, that's step 5, and then, oh, that's the rear, which is going to go, like once we get that done, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to put it all together here. It's like step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, step 5, putting it all together. It's fairly easy to follow along as you're doing this. So that's what an entry grade is. Also, no tools required. Asterisk. No tools required. We're not going to be using our snippers. We can just take these right off the tray. There won't be any extra stuff that we have to worry about. We don't have to snip close to it. They should come right off the spruce or tray or sheet or whatever you want to call it. Very easy. But there are stickers on this kit. There's some stickers right here. And we're going to want to use a tool to apply those stickers. Because you can just, look, I can just peel this off, slap it on there. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife because I think it will be better for the look of the kit if I do that. Removing the stickers and then applying them. So it's no tools, but we're going to use a tool. Will we use markers? When it's done, we'll look at it and we'll see. I'm going to drink a little water here. I need a little water. I got a little water. All right. So as I start putting this together, starting with B1 and right over here, with the body components, I'm also going to talk to you about anime I watched since the last stream. And I watched a few shows. So I am now caught up on So I'm a Spider, So What? And these are my thoughts, kind of haphazard thoughts. First off, it's funny in a way that I enjoy. The spider, the very beginning of the episode, first episode, a girl wakes up. We find out later that it is a girl. And she is a spider now. And she is very confused as to why the fuck that is. Why am I a spider? And she's like, oh, did I die and have I been reincarnated as a spider? And somewhat interesting, somewhat weird thing is she's very aware of what isekais are. That's not super unusual for postmodern isekai to understand the different world genre, that you can just die and be reborn in another place. That's not totally unusual. She mentions it quite a bit, like the video game stuff and all of that. But yeah, it like in a few shows that there's one of my favorite little references in Shield Hero is the Shield Hero has a moment where he's like, I wish I had read more light novels. It's just like a little nod to just the idea that like, oh, well, isekai is a thing. I'm at least aware of it, but I wish I had been more up on it. So it's got a lot of humor. The spider's very fun. It's a good thing that she talks to herself because it would be weird otherwise. So the computer-generated stuff, a lot of the monsters that she fights are computer-generated, and she is sometimes computer-generated, but often is digital. And the blending doesn't work great. It's not X-Arm bad. But sometimes it does feel weird when, because like you'll see she'll fight a big snake, and then suddenly the snake is uh, drawn because or digital because they have to interact, and the spider has to bite the snake. So then okay, well now since you had to do that, we have to make it digital because we can't have those two things interact like that, and it's a little weird and a little not great. Um, I so we find out pretty quickly in the first episode that our spider friend isn't the only person to get isekai'd. Other people got isekai'd, which is a kind of a cool concept. Um, uh, that other people are doing it, and they're in a more traditional isekai. It's like a group. It's like all their classmates got isekai'd. It's kind of interesting that you know there's a couple of them they haven't been able to track down, but almost everybody um, from the class has been reborn, and there's magical abilities and magic powers, and it's a typical isekai. They're setting up one character like he would be the main character in a different story, and I appreciate that they're like, well, this guy would be the main character, but he's not the main character because he can't be the main character because it's a spider. So I kind of like that. I honestly wish it wasn't two very different shows because it does feel like two very different shows because of the spider. There's a point where the spider envisions herself as a Spider-Man. Like they say, friendly neighborhood New Yorker, which I loved that description, but it's definitely Spider-Man. Like that's fun. Oh, they're dragons that are cool. Even though they're CG, they look cool. Um, Oh, also, I call her Spider all the time. I do know that her name is, and I wrote it down, Wakabe Hero, and she was bullied in school for being a weirdo. Um, and now the person that bullied her is a dragon. Uh, so yeah, she's not even the only person that was reincarnated as a monster. Now, why Hero was reincarnated as a spider, we don't know. We don't know what happened. They don't seem to know. But yeah, it's kind of weird that they're in like a big drama and she's in a kind of goofy adventure series where she's like powering up and leveling up and has some hidden abilities and is going through. She's evolved a couple times. It looks very similar. There's very little difference. Her basically her butt got bigger. It's got it's changed around a little bit, but she's mostly the same. But yeah, it's got some humor to it. I appreciate that, uh, and hopefully it'll just keep getting better and better because I've liked it so far. All right, time to do the arms. We can just do the feet because we're right here. So let's just do the head and the feet. Put those on. That there. This looks kind of terrifying. I will say, this face without anything on it feels kind of scary, kind of creepy looking. Let's see if we can. Kind of creepy looking. Anyway, I'm gonna keep watching Soma Spider. So what? I think the humor's fun. I'm not super sold on the other people and their shit that they're dealing with because it's like not as fun, and I think that's on purpose. But I'm like, all right. But yeah, not super sold on it. This episode of Jujutsu Kaisen was fucking great. A very weird thing happened in it. So, if you haven't been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, it's isekai. Not isekai. Sorry, that was the last thing. This is a shonen. It's a fighting series. Uh, a very good, nice boy got mixed up in the world of sorcerers that fight curses, and he ate a finger of a ancient curse, and so then people were like, well, we're going to kill you, and he was like, well, before you kill me, how about you put me to work and help me like fight curses? And they're like, sure, I guess. But not everybody was like, sure. Some people were like, fuck no, this dude needs to die. And they set him up to die, and then he fucking didn't die. And so now they're mad about that. And so this is the inter-school games between the Tokyo crew and the Kyoto school. and we're our favorite folks, including a big old panda that talks named Panda that I still don't know enough about. I need to know more about this panda man. I think next episode, I guess we're gonna find out a little bit more about our panda friend. Anyway, uh, the other school, their headmaster was just like the principal was just like, hey, I know this is like a school thing and whatever, and if you do well, you can get like recommendations for things like any other school. But I need you to kill the main character, Yuji. It's like, I need that guy dead. And they're like, some people are like, uh, and other people were like, okay. And then the guy that isn't cool about it is a dude named Toto. Uh, yeah, Toto is a guy who is hard to deal with because he is clearly like very strong physically, and very oddly opinionated, and he just wants to fight strong people. So he fights Yuji, and he's basically like, "Hey, if Yuji dies because we're fighting, then fine, that happens. But that's not my intention. I'm not here to kill him. I'm here to fight strong people. And if he happens to die while we're fighting, then that sucks. But sure." Which is great because he ends up being an accidental ally because everybody shows up to kill Yuji, and they weren't going to be able to easily, but Toto's just like, no. Because while they were fighting, he asked a question that he asks every person he fights: what kind of woman are you into? And it's how he like judges their character. And normally people are just like, like, oh, somebody strong or someone who likes me back or whatever. And like, because Yuji is a straightforward, silly person, he just goes, I don't know, like tall with a big ass. Is basically what he says. And then he goes, like Jennifer Lawrence. This is just a very silly, strange thing that I was not expecting. Um, and Toto is like, he visions a world where they went to high school together and they're best friends, and like he has this whole like fantasy vision uh of like him like of Yuji like helping him out and like being a pal, and he just starts calling him best friend, and then they're fighting, and he's like, hey, a thing I noticed is your fighting style isn't great because it's weak and you could be stronger. Uh, and so I guess like maybe we're gonna see Yuji like get even stronger while they fight. But the nice thing is he's not having to fight like 7 people. Uh, there's also a very funny that was very funny. Um, uh, There's a cute moment with Maki and the blue-haired girl whose name I didn't write down. I forgot. Where Maki's just like, "Are you okay? You seem really nice, and you're in a school with people who are not nice." Uh, she's like, "Are you gonna be all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know." Uh, and I thought that was cute. But yeah, there's gonna be some fighting. I think in the next episode, the panda is gonna fight the robot, and I mean, I just told you that a panda man and then there's a robot that talks. They're gonna fight next week, so like, it's the best show. Jujutsu Kaisen is great. Like, there's some real villains and there's some real nonsense. And I didn't even mention everything that happened in the episode, but it was a pretty straightforward episode. It is. It's just a good time. Uh, yeah, there's just some good shit, and I'm into it. We'll see where it goes. Oh, also, last week they introduced a character who, she has a broom, and then her hair is like 2 pigtails, but they go up like the broom, and she flies on that broom like a witch. And I don't know why I didn't think she would fly on a broom like a witch. For some reason, I was like, oh, she flies. Like, why wouldn't she do that? Why wouldn't I not think that? That was silly of me not to think that. But yeah, she does. All right, we got our belt, which if you know if you don't know anything about Kamen Rider, this is very important that you have a cool belt because you need your cool belt in order to get your Kamen Rider gear on. So you got to have a cool belt. It's a morpher. If you know Power Rangers, it is basic premise, and they're different in each series. But yeah. All right, we're gonna put this big sticker here. This big sticker on, and we're done with stickers at least. We have now finished all the armor and almost all the armor anyway, and then our big belt went on. This is looking pretty neat. And we're at least done with stickers, and then we can move on to putting on a bunch of cool shit on here. And I'm going to talk about With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. One of the best cute little series out there. Highly recommend that you check out With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. Because it's lovely. Let's see. All right, so short little series. The dog's birthday is April 1st. The dog likes the happy birthday song when it gets sung. Doesn't care about the plastic bone. Is just excited to be the center of attention. The cat's birthday is March 31st. The cat gets treats while the owner keeps the dog away. And then the cat thinks the owner was too noisy. That is his big concern. Was you were being too noisy while I was trying to eat. Cat and dog both get new toys. The dog acts like you would expect it to. It goes completely nuts. And then the cat pretends like it doesn't care, but it is very interested in its new toy. And that the owner totally recognizes the cat is very interested in it. And that's the show. Be warned if you're going to watch With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. It is a very cute series, but every 3 to 5 episodes, they mix things up by doing a real heartfelt episode that really is a tearjerker. It really hits you. It's like the 3rd episode, the 6th episode, and then it's been a while since we had another tearjerker, but they've happened, and it's really hit me and surprised the fuck out of me, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. All right. There's our Kamen Rider friend right there. Now it's got a face and a mask. 0-1. And we can do what 7 is going to be putting on. 7's going to be putting this armor on, so we'll put that armor on. And now I'll tell you about Horimiya, which is on Funimation on Saturdays and is the romantic comedy show of the season. The other romantic comedy show that I'm watching this season, Quintessential Quintuplets, Season 2 is fine, but it's no Horimiya. Now, I have not read the manga or the web novels of Horimiya, or light novels, you say. And I have not watched the OVAs that came out, these are basically like a remake of the OVAs. But I've only watched the 3 episodes that have existed, that have come out. But this show is fucking lovely. It's just it's not over the top in its comediness. It is true to life. It is like a comedy drama and is just really well done. I really recommend it if you're looking for a high school thing that is not, whoops, whoa, that flew, complete nonsense. That is it's got some silliness to it, but it's not bizarre in its silliness, and I really, really like it. All right, there we go. Got that piece of the armor on. Try to get this other piece of armor on. Okay, so we see Izumi is our main dude. If you haven't been here watching the show, Izumi is a dude who he's always that outcast because he's really quiet, and it really affected him. Being called weird, weirdo, really negatively affected him. He has piercings that he hides at school, so he got long hair to cover it. But the piercings are self-inflicted, and definitely not super mentioned in the show, but clearly is a form of self-harm, and that was surprising, but not that it happened in the show. That was even kind of mentioned. It's really lightly mentioned. It's like nobody says the words self-harm, but it's clear, he's doing that with a safety pin, and then he puts earrings in, and the tattoos are probably a similar thing, although I don't think they're self-inflicted, but I think he goes and gets tattoos just to feel something. Uh, and now he's wondering, hey, are these people that hang out with me because I've made friends with, um, what's her name? Oh, Kyoko. I made friends with Kyoko. Are these people my friends? I'm doing like group projects with these folks. Like, I'm not sure. Because he's got this like weird friendship. Like, he's developing a friendship with Toru. Um, but Toru like pledged his love to Kyoko and she rejected him. And he's like definitely jealous that this other dude, like, that she's like clearly getting into this other dude. Like, he can definitely tell. Um, but yeah, they have a heart to heart, which is good. And then Remy, who we met last episode, she's on the student council. She's got a boyfriend on there. Uh, she teases, but it's not teasing. It's being direct and weird about it. Um, with Kyoko, if she and Izumi are dating, and like, well, if you're not dating, then like, I do you mind if I have him? And it's this whole like definitely weird and supposed to be a joke, but is definitely not a joke, and is definitely not fucking cool uh, behavior on her part. Um, and you're like, hey, what if you weren't like this, lady? Uh, all right, and we put this kit together, so now it's time to decide what markers we're gonna do, and I'll take a before and after of it. But we will put some markers on this. We'll do some panel lining. But yeah, pausing talking about this anime to tell you about this kit. This was a fun kit to put together. Obviously, this didn't take long at all. These kits take like a half an hour at most. Like, even if we didn't do any panel lining here, this came together like no problem. Now, there's a lot of issues with that. The price is good, as I said, price is very good. Posability. Does this move at all? The feet move, and the arms move, and the head moves. There is no waist to move. This is all one piece. There's no knees. There's no elbows. So you're not getting a lot of cool action poses here. You're getting a lot of like, I'm doing a thing. You're not getting a lot of like, I'm going to do some martial arts in a second. You get a lot of like, or like, I won, or I'm flying. So you're not getting a lot of posability, but as an entry point, and as a, do I want to be doing this? Do I want to start spending $30 on a kit for that? You know, this is a great place to start if you're not sure if you want to get into it. We're still going to do some marker stuff. So that's what I want to say about this. This was a breeze to put together. I don't like that this involves stickers. Also, these arm stickers were not intuitive, and I was constantly second-guessing myself, and I did not enjoy that. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. And now we're going to try to see what colors we want to use, black or gray for this, for the very bright colors here, and then also for the gray on the, we won't really, yeah. I really want to just do the armor here, that. So we're just going to see what that looks like. But anyway, so because of Remy's meddling, who I do not like, and I would like to see go away, Toru and, it's funny, man. Toru and Izumi get in a fight. And Izumi's this, like, loner that people think is, like, an otaku and, like, maybe smart, but is not smart. They get into a fight, and it's, like, kind of accidental. And then, like, he just beats his ass. Izumi just beats his ass. It's awesome. He just, like, whoops him. And they're hopefully going to make up. But it looks like at the end of the episode they're going to make up. I don't know. It's a lovely series. Horimiya, Horimiya, I totally recommend. I think it is a fantastic show. It feels very true, but also like there's goofy moments and some comedy and some silliness. There's also a part, guys, I didn't even say, there's a part where they hold hands and kind of express their feelings, but neither is acting on their feelings because like one of them doesn't think he's good enough and the other probably doesn't know if this is something she wants to pursue. But yeah, they're like gonna date probably very soon. And it's episode 3, and it looks like they're definitely going to get together. And then we're going to find out all the complications that have to do with that. And I'm really looking forward to it. That's one of those figurines the hero always finds at the scene of an accident or attack. Oh, yes. Yeah. All right. I think I want to go black here. Here's the thing. I'm going to do black on the back of this, and if I don't like it, I'll switch to gray. But I think I'm going to use black for this. This doesn't need this, but we'll do it anyway because we have some time left on the stream. But yeah, that's the anime I've been watching. As I said, I stopped watching Back Arrow, because it's not good. I don't think it's good. I will say this. I tweeted it. You can find it on my Twitter. The closing theme is an anime-ass anime theme. If it wasn't the closing theme for Back Arrow, people would be using it for anime music videos for a show. Because it is definitely a fucking anime theme. For all the good and bad of that. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Just add some definition to it. Yeah, we're gonna go with black. Look, this isn't even a kit I think I'm gonna be looking at in a week, but it was fun to build, and I want to do one of basically every entry grade, pretty much. If there's an entry grade, I want to do it, because I think it's cool to do these and get an idea of the pros and cons of these. But anyway, Horimiya, it's great. Yeah, there's a few things that I was watching that I'm like, I'm probably not gonna be watching this. I don't have any drive to watch the second season of Cells at Work. I really love the first season of Cells at Work, and I just don't have any real interest. I watched the first episode and I was like, okay. I think part of it is the fact that the second season song isn't anywhere near as good as the first season song. Like, it's actively worse. And that is kind of ruining my interest in the show, which is a shame. I don't like to say that, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of like meh about it. And yeah, I've got stuff I'm watching kind of on my own time. And I'll talk more about that. But yeah, so many shows come out on Thursday that I kind of just had to decide, well, what do I want to watch on Thursdays? And then I'll cover that. And then the other stuff I'll watch whenever. And yeah, Monday we'll start something new. Here's the real thing, right? So on Monday, I'm gonna do a high grade. I've got 2 high grades, and I'm gonna do the one I think will take the shortest amount of time, because, oh hey, why use the vinyl eraser? Oh, okay, yes, Ottoman. So, we're doing a quick and dirty method of panel lining, right? This is a very easy method to do. We're just putting some ink on there, and we can be a little dirty, and then we'll hit the eraser on it, and we'll take off whatever is not like embedded deep in it, in the cracks of it, and that way you just leave like what you want to see, and you don't leave a lot of extra stuff. So we use the polymer eraser to do that. You could use a tissue. You could use a Q-tip. We use the eraser. I like the eraser because it works with the whole quick and dirty thing. Some people use their fingers, and then they'll clean off their fingers. Also, because then you can just scrape off the gunk that has been on here. So, like, we'll just peel off whatever got on there, and then you got a cleaner surface, and then wipe that away. So we're just doing that to get off the excess marker. And it works well. It is, as I said, it is the quick and dirty method because we are doing this fast, because this method means we don't have to be precision. Also, this plastic is not quite the same as your standard Gunpla plastic, so I am being a little more careful than I would with Gunpla, with the Gundam stuff, because this is not coming off as easy as it would otherwise, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. Again, this is just to kind of see. We haven't done any panel lining on any of our things because the other kits didn't need it. But this is also, this will be the only time I've ever taken, the first time anyway, I've taken a photo before and after, because we built it the whole thing before I did any panel lining. And we'll be able to see what it looks like after the panel lining, which is kind of neat, which we didn't do before. Yeah, and it just kind of brings to life. Yeah, so the plan is to do, yeah, I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that. We're not going to worry about doing the leg here. Let's get it there. The plan is to do the thing that will take the least amount of time as possible because this is coming. Do I have a photo of it? Oh, I didn't put a photo in it yet. Okay, well, I won't show you what it looks like, but you know. Right now, scheduled to appear on, let me look and see if I've gotten any more info on the FedEx shipment. Because I have a FedEx package coming. When is it getting here? Oh, it is arriving end of day on Tuesday. It's the Ultron from Endless Waltz, the Nadaku. Gundam Wing Endless Waltz Nadaku. Master Grade Premium Bandai kit. I bought it. It releases this month. It is in the mail. It is coming on Tuesday. I want to build it on Thursday. So the kit that we will be building on Monday is a high grade that I should finish on Thursday, and then I can start the Nadaku, the Ultron Endless Waltz kit, because that is the plan. That is the kit I want to be building as soon as possible. So I'm not going to start a master grade, which will take 3 streams to finish. I want to build a high grade that takes 1.5 to 2 streams so that I can get that kit started soon. If it was coming on Monday, that's what I'd be doing on Monday. But since it's not coming till Tuesday, I'm doing something else. If it comes on Monday, if somehow it gets delivered early, I will abandon whatever high grade I was going to do and just work on that. Because that is the thing I want to be building, that it's jumping the queue, because I want it to jump the queue, because damn it, I want to build that kit so bad, because the Ultron, Endless Waltz, the Nadaku, is one of my favorite kits, and I just can't wait to build it. Cannot wait to build it. So, that is coming up. And let's do a little panel lining here. But yeah, I'm very excited. I have to put that in a page in for that. I don't have that yet. So I'll either be working on the Aegis right here, or I'll be working on the Anima. One of those 2 high grades. The Anima might be easier because, sorry, it's a core Gundam with some armor on top. I'm not going to pause the build or whatever, but I will finish whatever it is and then, start the next one. So, so that's the plan. But yeah, it'll either be this one or Aegis, another Night Gundam, night-themed one. All right, what did I take this photo on? All right, I took a photo on the instructions, so. Yeah, now we'll have the Pat, why do you like Gundam? What draws you to it? So, I watched a little bit of G Gundam back in the day, and then was like, oh, that's weird. That's kind of fun. I like that. Like, I watched a random episode. And then when Wing was coming out, a friend of mine was like, hey, I think you'll really like this. You like mecha. You should watch Gundam Wing. I've heard really good things about it. And so I watched Gundam Wing when it came out on TV, and fucking 100% fell in love with it. And it was like, oh, this is the shit. I like this very much. I'm going to make sure I get all my photos before we wrap up, because we're almost done with the stream. I was just like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to, this is exactly like what I'm into. I can't wait to watch more of this. It just felt like something I really wanted to check out. I love big mechs. I like model kit stuff of that. Also, the whole point of Gundam is that war sucks and fighting sucks. Um, and it is this natural problem. Gundam represents the issue that all mecha anime has, and all giant robot shows from any part of the world and stories of big cool machines is that they are tools of war, and they are awesome, but they are also awful. And when a Gundam shows up, it's a fucking problem. And I love that about the series, that those series take that and run with it, and the good ones do. There's some bad mecha stuff out there that don't ignore that. It's been a long time since I watched Macross. I think Macross is really interesting, but as I said, it's been a while, so that's a little tough recommendation. But I do think it's rad. It's just been a while since I've like really watched it. Okay, so we're done with the stream just about. We are gonna raid, so I'm gonna go find us a stream to go check out. As always, we raid at the end of these streams. We share the love. You don't have to come on this raid, but I would love it if you did, because there are fantastic folks that you can come check out. And I think that you would really enjoy the cool people we're going to go hang out with. I know they're going to be done in a minute, so I won't raid them. How long has Kate's been playing? A long time. She's still playing Rust. If Kate is still playing Rust, we're going to go raid Kate. Nah. Oh, no, she's wrapping up. Okay, we're not going to raid Kate. No, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Feel free to come along this raid. I'm still figuring out who we're going to go raid. You know what? Yeah, we'll go raid Kate. Kate rules. Even if she's not streaming for that long because she's been doing it for a while, we'll still raid her because she rules. And it's been a while since we gave Kate a raid. So let's go raid Kate. She's the best. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Feel free to come along on the raid. If not, I hope to see you on Monday. And I'm doing a high grade because I can't wait for that new master grade to come. But I got to post a bunch of photos of this and upload it. But thanks for being here. I hope to see you on the next stream. So let's go hang out. Have a great night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.